Hello and welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. This is our daily get-together live here on Facebook every morning at 10:30, where we exchange headlines, news, questions, comments, suggestions, ideas, and all kinds of inspiration to enjoy our lives here in Puerto Vallarta as a community of English-speaking locals. It is always a pleasure to get together with everyone. And if this is the first time you're joining us, remember you can write the word new in your comment and we will give you a nice welcome. Also, if you have important questions that you'd like to share with us during the broadcast, it helps a lot if you add the letter Q at the beginning of your question, because there's always a lot of back and forth commentary, dialogue, conversation that goes on between all of us here. So it's a pleasure to do this, and it's a pleasure to get together as we get close to wrapping the end of the year. Today is Wednesday, so we have a walk prepared for today. You get to watch me huff and puff and lose my dignity as we climb all the way up to the La Cruz lookout in downtown Puerto Vallarta. Boy, am I out of shape. And we'll get to that in a second. But first, let me take a quick look at who is joining us. We have some important news as well to share. Let's take a quick look. Claude is here. I was so close to your house yesterday. Yay! Let's see. My friend Rocío. ¿Cómo estás, Rocío? Un placer de verte. My friend Rocío is in the house. Michael says, yay for Walking Wednesday. We're going to start doing Sore Muscle Thursday, let me tell you. Anyhow, who else is here? Oh, Kathleen is here. It's always great to see you, dear friend. Just finished a chocolate croissant with my spouse and a cinnamon roll from Artisan Bakery, and they were delicious. You make me want to stop the broadcast and just run over there and get some stuff for the morning. It's always great to see this. Let's see. It started raining. It started snowing where Sherry is, but you're going to be here in a few days, Sherry. So look forward to that. Let's see what else we have. I should have stooped in after my walk to El Mirador. I was in no condition. I was all schwitzy and huffy puffy. Today you're going to hear some heavy breathing, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let's see what else we have. Oh my God. Oh my God, Lorraine, who's been watching from Switzerland all these months, are now in Puerto Vallarta. Welcome to Puerto Vallarta. I forget if you're here for a few days. I forget if you've moved, but as long as you're here, be safe and enjoy the destination. How wonderful is that? Michael, our favorite restaurant purveyor. No, that's not true, because if I say that, other restaurant purveyors are not going to be happy about that. But Michael, our fabulous restaurant purveyor, is in the house. Let's see. Great dinner at Bravo's last night. That's always wonderful to hear. Let's see what else. I had great dinner last night. Let me tell you, and I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. One of the things that keeps me happy and healthy here in Puerto Vallarta is taking friends to see things they haven't seen before. And last night, I enjoyed a wonderful progressive dinner with some friends that had not, that wanted to go out for sushi. I suggested, well, here in Versalles, we have a couple of wonderful places. So we started at La Gallega, which is a relatively new tapas bar here in Versalles for cocktails. And then we walked over to sushi in house where we had a wonderful dinner. But on the way there, we stopped at Oregano to visit Chef Graciela because my friends couldn't believe that Chef Graciela actually has a pet pig, and pet pig's name is Taco. So we stopped by to say hello to Taco and had a lovely conversation with her. I was able to pinpoint a few of the great restaurants that we have as we were walking to our destination. And I woke up this morning thinking, what a wonderful neighborhood Versalles has become. If you are not familiar with this neighborhood, that is just one block away from where I live, you would really enjoy it if you are a foodie. And of course, we produced a map that shows the location for all these restaurants in case you wish to pursue that. Let us see. Jorge is jealous of okay, good. Yes. Oh, you're now living permanently. Okay, fantastic. Oh, this is all great news. Anyhow, let's see. We are going to talk about what are we going to talk about? Well, we might as well talk about it instead of announcing it. So let me just get started with the news because our walk today is a little bit on the long side. It's going to be a 17-minute video. So let's get started. As much as Puerto Vallarta has had the ability to go up to 75% occupancy in hotels, it is not expected that we'll get even to 70% for the end of the year. Unfortunately, the fact that the government of our state, the government of Jalisco, decided to close down nightlife had an influence on the number of tourists that decided to come here. There were a bunch of last-minute cancellations, and some people might think this is a sad thing. Some people might think this is a good thing. It depends on where you're standing. We are aware of the fact that there are a number of businesses that are still hurting and would like to be more active. But of course, the government has been very specific in saying health is more important than productivity. And this brings us to this next headline. Local bars who seem to only look after their own welfare, and that's okay, sent a last-minute request to the government of our state saying, please, please, please let us open for New Year's. The city is full of tourists and they want to go out. And the city said, no way, Jose. The state's Secretary of Health denied a permit requested by local bars to open for the 30th and the 31st. That would be today and tomorrow. So there is no opening of these bars. The Secretary of Health said, health is first. Health is before the economy. So no bars. Of course, there are a lot of bars that are sailing with a restaurant permit, and technically they can do that. But again, it is entirely up to us to decide whether we want to be in a crowded place to welcome the New Year's and maybe welcome an unexpected disease. And the same thing applies to family reunions. We've heard over and over that getting together with family members that you haven't seen for a long time might not be the best thing to do. Now it turns out, we've been talking about the unfortunate passing of the late composer Armando Manzanero. It turns out that he was most likely infected by his own family. One of his daughters has come out and said that they had a family reunion in Oaxaca halfway through November, and several of Armando Manzanero's relatives tested positive from COVID on that family reunion. So it is quite likely that the late maestro passed away because he got together with his family. Let that become a lesson for anybody that is considering in this day and age to get together with family members or large groups of people. I just wish more people would be understanding of how simple it is to look after our well-being, how simple it is to follow the guidelines, and how easy it is to just be preventive about everything that goes on. Let me take a quick look at your comments before we dive into the rest of the program. Let us see what's going on. Looking forward to the walk today. I have always wanted to do this walk, but never did. Oh my God, Joe, you may not want to do it after you see me huffing and puffing, but that's okay. Carlitos, te quiero mucho. My friend Carlos sends congratulations for the broadcast. Thank you very much. My little sister from Thailand, Noi, is in the house. It's so great to see you. And I wish you a happy, happy, happy new year. Um, and that's pretty much what we have right now. Kathleen enjoyed the music links from yesterday. I am so glad that you did. Again, the music of Armando Manzanero is just, it's timeless, and it'll be around for a long time. Um, Bronica says we're going to be fine with just a little bit of great food and champagne. Good for you. I'm going to stay put. I'm not going to go anywhere, and I'm going to enjoy the arrival of the new year with Luna, of course. Let us take a quick look at the weather, and we continue with some leisurely stuff. Well, it is fracking nice out, but it is also very cold. It's 20 degrees Celsius, feels like 22. It's 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Our humidity is high today, 76%. And the weather forecast tells us that today we'll have rain starting in the afternoon. We forecasted this yesterday with a high temperature of 23, low temperature of 14. And Thursday, it's going to be clear through the day. And that would be New Year's Eve with a high temperature of 21, low temperature of 12. And New Year's Day, will welcome the year with a clear sky, with clear skies throughout the day, high temperature of 24, low temperature of 12. And indeed, it's been quite cold, and we have a report from the National Weather Center here in Mexico that we are going through the middle of a cold front that is going to bring even lower temperatures in the next few days. And this is going to continue until the beginning of the year, until the 2nd of January. So do expect to be feeling some cold weather for the next few days. And also, there is a red flag alert on the beach because of high waves. Apparently, the waves in the southern part of the municipality reached a height of 2 meters, which is fairly high. And it's not the waves that we worry about, it's the undertow that we worry about. So if you're planning on going into the ocean, please be safe. Make sure that you're a good swimmer. You don't want any kind of accidents to happen while you are enjoying your time on the beach. And we are talking about the ocean. Some researchers have come forth and have started finding out the amazing number of face masks that are going to be ending up in the oceans through the rest of this year. And in the future, this environmental agency started doing some studies. It's called Oceans Asia. Has shared a study that I'm going to look for. If I find it in English, I will share it with you, that anticipates that it is face masks this year that are going to largely contribute to the enormous amount of pollution in our oceans and plastic. It is unfortunate. I would imagine that researchers years from now will dive into the ocean and will be surprised to find all these face masks during this time, and they will know exactly what that was about. I also found an interesting article. There's always some interesting stuff coming from Vox, and this time they have this great article called "The Year Shopping Changed Forever." Why? Because needless to say, thanks to the pandemic, this is the year in which online shopping arrived and stayed. It is definitely something that we're going to continue doing as long as we cannot go out and shop. And the last headline that I have before we dive into our walk of the day is bitter news, I think, because now there's going to be new Puerto Vallarta letters at the entrance of the city. Let me give you some background information. The letters that welcome Puerto Vallarta as you're driving into the city from points north were commissioned to Natasha Moraga, who we know is doing the tile park. And as far as I know, and this comes from comments that Natasha has made to me, or that has made to other people, when she was authorized to do those letters, unfortunately, they skimmed. No, I don't know what the word is. They did not provide her with the most resistant materials, and the result of that is that the letters quickly went into disrepair. And I haven't been driving through the north part of the city lately, but as I understand it, the letters have been damaged considerably. So now the city has voted, instead of voting to repair those letters, they voted to, I suppose, scrap them altogether. And they have invited a new artist whose name is Hector Montes, a local. He's a local sculptor who is going to be creating new letters that are going to be made of fibra de vidrio. Fibra de vidrio. I don't know how to say fibra de vidrio in English. Glass fiber? Would that be correct? I'm not entirely sure. And apparently, these new letters are more resistant to the local weather, to salt and the air, and they could last between 15 to 20 years with minimum maintenance. So it's good that we're going to get new letters. It's sad that the letters that Natasha Moraga produced, which were beautiful, did not end up being strong enough or well designed enough. Let me take a quick fiberglass. Thank you very much. It was at the tip of my tongue, but what do I know? I am still tired from my walk yesterday. I'll show it to you in a second. First, let me take a quick look at your comments so far. Oh, 178 of you are here. How wonderful. This is great. Let's see what we have. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. What is everyone wearing for New Year's? I'm torn between PJs or boxers and a sweatshirt. I hear ya. I'm going to stay as comfortable as possible. Noy says Happy New Year to me, but I'm going to say that Noy is saying Happy New Year to everybody here. Hopefully, Noy will come back to Puerto Vallarta in this coming year and will have a wonderful experience enjoying her Thai cuisine somewhere. Let's see. Oh my God, Candace, I am so glad you're here because you go up and down that hill, that viewpoint, like a fish in the water. You're gonna hear me panting and huffing in a second. Let's see. Everybody's cold. I love it. Getting out my hot pad. Let's see what else we have. 2 meters is 7 feet. Thank you very much for that, Michael. Birthday suit. I am up for that, although Luna tends to get spooked up. Let's see what else we have. Fiberglass. Thank you, Logan. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Tapia. And thank you, Joe. And thank you, Tony. I love it. Oh, dear. Okay, so I think we're caught up with comments. Let me tell you that yesterday was a really funny day because I get so used to being here in the house and enjoy going out when I have to go out. But yesterday I did not want to go anywhere. And a friend of mine said to me, go out, go for a walk. And I thought, okay, should I be doing the remainder of my third walk to Versailles today? And I said to myself, no, because I have a good friend that is going to open a restaurant soon. Should I be doing the walk to La Cruz, which I've been wanting to do? I had wanted to do it either yesterday or to do it on January 1st to welcome the new year. And finally I said, fuck it. I took a cab into the Malecon. I got off at Hotel Rosita, walked to Josefa Ortiz de Dominguez, which is the street that leads all the way up straight to La Cruz. And this is what happened. And I'm going to stick around because I have to do social commentary. I didn't have enough time to edit this properly. So you will hear a lot of heavy breathing. And it was not funny. Well, it was funny. I had a good time. But it really showed me how little exercise I have enjoyed during the pandemic and how I must get myself back in shape. So, La Cruz, here we go. Hello again. We are standing at the Malecon and we are standing in front of Josefa Ortiz de Dominguez Street and we are going to walk all the way up to La Cruz, and we're gonna find out what the view looks like from up there. Let's go. It almost killed me, Sherry. Now, for starters, let us realize that there's an important landmark right behind me, and that was the Good Fortune unicorn sculpture right on the Malecon. And there are many ways to climb all the way up to La Cruz. We are, of course, taking what seems to be the shortest route, which is just walking all the way up Josefa Ortiz de Dominguez. And according to the map, and according to my memory, there's only one block that does not have vehicle traffic. So we're going to make sure that we can cross or continue down that block by simply...
Hey, what are you doing?
By simply walking
I'm
up
going
the
up
stairs,
the hill.
as I'm sure is going to be the case. If not, we'll take a little detour just to find our way up there.
Not something my spouse and I will ever be able to do, says Den. I am then so happy to show it to you.
Two landmark restaurants at the intersection of Josefa Ortiz de Dominguez and Guadalupe Sanchez Street. We have Café des Artistas to the left, and we have Si Señor to the right. And this is the block. This is the dead-end street. This is the block where we're going to try to climb our way through this one stretch.
So every time I go into fast mode, the sound goes away. So this is a good time to share the fact that if you walk up any of these steps in El Centro, there's all these streets that are really wonderful to explore, but watch how out of breath I am. And this is just the very beginning of the walk as I get to the top of the stairs. Here we go.
Okay. We made it. We made it through the first batch of steps. And we continue forward, getting closer and closer to our destination.
Okay, I'm pausing for a second because I want to point out there is a little street coming up on the right-hand side. I continued walking forward, and that was not the best idea. The best idea is to walk to the right on this street that is coming up and then take the first left and continue going up. But I didn't remember the exact path. This looked like an easy path to go, just straight ahead or gaily forward. Let's keep going.
Dios mío. Definitely not for the out of shape or the faintly hearted. But it is so nice and quiet up here. Okay, this is steep.
And thank God for the fast forward maneuver. You did not have to endure that part.
Oh my God. I am so out of breath. Totally out of shape.
I told you it was not edited.
First-time travelers or first-time explorers might think, okay, I've come to this point where there's nothing to the left, there's nothing to the right. So what do? We keep going up. ¿Verdad? Hay que subir la puta subida. Vámonos.
There was this little kid who kept looking at me, just huffing and puffing. And I finally just said to him, well, there's nothing else to do but to keep going up, right? And he says, yep. And up I went, and up I went, and up I went, and my niece felt it.
Okay. I'm still losing my dignity here, but I continue going upward. But not without taking the time to look at where we came from. Oh my God. That was a really quick climb. Nobody's guaranteeing micheladas or cold beverages when we get there. And like a fool, I didn't bring anything to drink. Okay. So, at this point, we need to continue up. There are some letters on the ground that say Mirador, and that's where we are going. And I see, I suppose, the government or someone built this path where they were not supposed to. So, what we're going to do is take this little side road that was recommended to me just now. Hey!
Oh my God, and at that point I ran into a friend of mine. Let me just mute this
¿Qué
for a
andas
second.
haciendo?
Because I just ran into a friend of mine and I told him, I'm recording, I cannot stop and say hello, da 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 da, but how are you? Let us get together sometime in the near future. And as long as we're here, Paula asks, how long in real time did it take me? It took about half an hour to get there. From the Malecon, a little bit less than that. And then somebody just asked, is this the back way? Well, this is the way I would not recommend in hindsight. But let's get back to the movie, and I will answer all your comments.
There's a little surprise of running into a friend. We are going to continue going up. As I mentioned earlier, there are several ways to get up here. This is the first time that I've come this way. And even though there are others that are even more gentle, this is probably the best way to go. Now here, I suppose we continue going. Something tells me I should go left, but I'm not sure.
I was like in the middle of nowhere.
Let me try left first. Woo! And is it left? No, it does not seem to be left. Let me go back. And let's try the other road. Okay. And now we come this way. This road is a lot more developed. So I truly hope this is the way to get up there. Aha! Oh, there are the steps. These are the stairs. Now I know where we are.
Okay, so remember that street that I mentioned earlier? Had I taken a right-hand turn on that street and then a left-hand turn, this little stretch of what the fuck is going on would not have happened, and it would have been a lot easier to get to the actual stairs.
Maybe on the way back, I'll come down this other street. But we are at the beginning of the new steps. Now, whoa! What the government has done here is to build one of those cable cars that I don't think anyone has seen in operation. And these final sets of steps will get us all the way up to La Cruz. Might as well get it done.
And you go up, and you go up, and you go up. And I feel like I'm watching that Sandra Bullock movie where she goes out to space and all you hear is heavy breathing. But it was a tough ride, a tough climb. I ran into some people. They were all face masks, which was nice. And I kept having to stop to catch my breath. And I figured, okay, if I have to catch my breath, I might as well show the view. And look at where we started. We started all the way down there on the Malecón. And we're almost there.
Hi.
Oh my goodness. But I loved every minute of it.
Hi. Okay. So, zero dignity.
Zero dignity.
Zero dignity. Let us first go to the original monument. And we'll forget about this monstrosity now.
I think I'm sweating just by listening to it. Jesus. The breeze was amazing. That's why you hear some noise on the microphone.
Okay.
And I was like, I need to
now
sit
I
down.
sit down.
Yes. I was like, I'm sitting down. I don't give a shit.
So here we are. All the way up from the Malecón. And this is our city. Now that I've caught my breath, sort of, let me get up and show you the original monument, which is right behind me. Let's see what that is all about. Okay. So here is the so-called Monument of the Cross. And let's walk around it.
Every second of it was worth it, Sherry.
Cero dignidad. Ay, Dios mío de mi vida. Buenas tardes. Okay. Looking this way, I can see Paso Ancho. And all those trees behind it. And then continuing around, we see some new buildings here on the hill. Oh, up there is Las Carmelitas, a wonderful Mexican restaurant with a spectacular view. Highly recommended for anyone that is checking out the destination for the first time. And then, on this side, we can see the beginning of the hotel zone continuing along the water. And looking forward, I can see Versalles, I can see my own neighborhood, La Vena, Pitillal, very far away. And of course, past all the condos, we can see Marina Vallarta and points north. Now, just to say that we came all the way up here, and we did it, let's climb this new structure. Now, this new structure was designed during this administrative period, and it is part of that cable car that I showed you before that nobody has ever seen in action.
And nobody will, probably.
And this is part of one of those ambitious plans to build another cable car, a funicular that goes all the way from here down to where Hotel Rosita is. So let us climb up to that point, which is slightly higher than where I was. Let's have a look.
And I'll answer all of your questions as soon as we're done. I see some really fabulous questions along the way. Up, up, up.
Ready?
And here we are. Welcome to the top of the hill. Right in front of me, I'm looking at all of El Centro. Then I'm looking at Cinco de Diciembre. And then, of course, the stadium, the hotel zone, and so forth and so on.
Can't lie, this was the prettiest place I've ever been to.
So, here we are. If you ever wanted to get a good view of our city, if you wanted to get a sense as to the fact that the place is really more than just one neighborhood, but it is in fact a number of communities, then this is the spot to be.
Isn't that beautiful?
Can we go to the place I wanted to go to on
I was really tired, but I loved going up there.
And now, I'll give my most prized possessions for the nearest beer I can find. So I'm going to go looking for a nice, refreshing beer, and I'm sure I'll see you soon. This walk, highly recommended, but remember, you want to be in good shape to get up here, or else you'll end up losing your dignity just like I did. Have a good one.
Ta-da! Oh my God, that was so much fun. But it was such a reminder of how shamefully out of shape I've allowed myself to become during the pandemic. I love doing this, but I came back home. What did I do? I lay down in bed and I fell asleep immediately. And then I went out for dinner, as I mentioned before. And last night I slept like a log, and I overslept, which is why, this morning I was not even able to add like nice background music or do more editing and so forth and so on. But you have so many wonderful questions. Let me very quickly scroll through this. And before I forget, because I see that Sylvie is here, and I want to again do a shout out to my friend Sylvie, because somebody asked, I don't remember who, somebody asked, would a tourist find their way on their own? And the answer is sort of, kinda, but there are people like Sylvie and others that organize walking tours here in the city. This is how Sylvie makes a living. So Sylvie, please, as you have done before, show us your Facebook page so that if anybody wants to hire you to go on this walk, they can do that. I know that Candace does this walk with friends quite frequently. I would do it again in a heartbeat. Well, give me a couple of days. But if you're a tourist and you're doing this for the first time, the best way to really enjoy this is to go with a local, someone that has done it before. And that way, the company can help you not think so much about how tired you are and so forth and so on. Let me take a quick look at some comments that I may be able to answer. Oh, and something else, and I'll explain this in a better produced segment. You can actually drive your car to about halfway there and therefore avoid a lot of steps. There's a specific intersection where you can ask an Uber to drop you off and then pick you up, and that way you don't have to walk that much. Let's see. Tricky filming while doing the stairs. Nah, it was fun. Has that funicular ever worked? Well, Paul, I just saw a comment from Sylvie saying that it worked for about a month. And what happens is that up there, it's very difficult to get there. And to actually have a staff and people that are operating, I don't know what the government was thinking when they decided to develop those lofty plans, because it's not like you can just get up there and come back. In the sense that you can hire somebody to run shops up there and souvenir stands, which is a lot of what the city wanted to do. Let's see. I was such a trooper. Yes, I was such a trooper. Yeah, but I was happy that I did it. Thank you very much. Mindful. Mind you, the fact that I did it and that it took so much effort was also a very healthy reminder that I should do more exercise. Let's see. Hold on just a second. Okay, I'm back. Yes, there were plenty of people who we all kept looking at each other, going like, "Yes, what are we doing here?" Um, was it worth the walk? I said before, and I'll say it again. It was worth every minute. The view from up there, friends, is just absolutely wonderful. I did not bring water, Alan. I should have brought water. But I will bring water the next time. Um, and I was afraid of that. I was afraid that you would have thought that with all that heavy breathing that I was in pain or something. And yes, of course I was in pain, but I was really glad that I did it and I enjoyed it a lot. If not, I would have woken up cranky and I would have never shared this with you. Uh, Paula asked, and I believe I just answered this. Um, you know, Talk to locals, Paula. That's the best way to do it. And again, when talking to somebody like Sylvie is a great day. It's a great way to do this. What time of day did I do this? I did this arrived at the Malecon at 2 p.m. yesterday. And I figured it is chilly out there, so I'm not going to feel hot. And of course, I sweated a lot, but it was quite comfortable, but only because the weather is cool right now. Would I have done that walk in the middle of the summer, in the middle of the day? Oh no, 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 no! You could not have paid me enough money. Um, uh, was that my first trip to the Mirador? Oh no, my first trip to the Mirador was with friends. It was Candace Shaw, who brought me up there for the first time, and we took a completely different route. We started at the Rio Quale, and we went up through Gringo Gulch, and we got a chance to see a lot of spectacular little streets that you would not even know about unless you went with a local. So again, there are many ways to get all the way to the bottom of those steps. Let's see. I did mention Las Carmelitas at some point, that beautiful scenic restaurant that is up in the mountains, and that is another great viewpoint that is highly recommended for anybody that is bringing that is a local and has friends arriving into town for the first time. Having a dinner up at Las Carmelitas is great because you are on top of the mountain. It really is a beautiful place to be. Uh, Paco, thanks. You're welcome. It is my pleasure. It is my pleasure. And yes, that was a hike. Um, and for those of us that feel like, well, we couldn't do this, well, if you really cannot do it, I totally understand. And I'm so happy to have been able to show it to you. I am happy that I did it. and I hope that I'll be able to do it again. I was told that the cross was built or funded by Canadians. True or false? No, it was actually funded by Barbara Streisand. Okay, let's see what else. I was kidding. I have no idea who funded the cross. I really don't. April Fool's Day, Mexican style, is over. So no Barbara Streisand. No Barbara Streisand. Is this going to be one of the stations for the monorail? That was over, Logan. That was for Dia de los Inocentes. But no, they do keep talking about the fact that they want to do a cable car that goes from Hotel Rosita and the Malecon all the way up there. And in theory, that would be amazing. But to have the budget, to have the staff, to have the resources to do something like that, I just don't see it happening anytime in the near future. Let's see. Let's see. Can you see Los Arcos in the distance? Um, I don't remember. I don't remember. I looked south, but I don't remember if I saw Los Arcos. You know, there's some hills, the Conchas Chinas hills, that may get in the way. Thank you. Sylvie tells us that the crust was put up there in the 1920s. So I don't know if Canadians had already discovered. I don't know if Canadians had already discovered Puerto Vallarta back then. Arlene asks, "Can a taxi take us?" Yes. Again, a taxi can get you to a certain part of the neighborhood because I mean you have to be able to drive at least through some of those streets. And what I'll do is when I've put together this talk or this walk rather in a more organized way with sound effects and beautiful background music and no panting, and then I will show in a map where a taxi cab could drop you off so that you can walk less than what I did. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. How many kilometers from where I started? I did not count. But I'm sure that Google would provide the answer for that. Let's see what else. Let's see what else. That was my signature walking tour for 7 years. That's why I mentioned Sylvie. And again, if you want to go up, get in touch with Sylvie because she knows the ins and outs of those hills like very few people that I know. I think we are reaching the very end of your comments, which means we are reaching the very end of our broadcast today. And yeah, I think we're done. Is there a specific significance for the cross being up there? Not that I know of, but I'm sure there has to be one. It would be interesting to try to find the story behind it. And Sylvie makes an interesting commentary here. Again, there was supposed to be a restaurant and a gift shop and a this and a that, and I can almost visualize the meetings in downtown at City Hall where all the different City Hall council members are trying to get a piece of the pie or trying to get the concessions to their friends and relatives. I mean, this is just the way that those things get done. And fortunately, it hasn't been developed because really, you know, up there, there's some things that are better left alone. And even that white structure that they built there, I mean, we had a perfectly fine vantage point before they built that ugly thing, and it was just left there. And unfortunately, it is there to stay. Let's see. Oh, thank you very much, Sylvie. I knew you would know more about these things. One of the priests from the Guadalupe Church commissioned that cross, and it was originally made from rosewood. Nice to know. Let's see. See, that would be smart, Alan. But then I wonder if the coin-operated binoculars would get vandalized. Because you see, what happens is late at night, it's just dark. And if you go up there, you know, nobody will know it. In fact, I mean, I was thinking to myself, I could open up a bottle of wine, whip out a joint, do a picnic, and nobody would come and put me away because, you know, it's not like you can get up and down easily. So I wonder why the government did not think about these details. Anyhow, great conversation. Uh, oh, my sister doesn't know how to buy me a coffee. Well, it's very easy. I will tell you how to do it in a little while. Mwah! And of course, I think we are at the end of our comments, and I think we are pretty much done with today. I hope you enjoyed Walking Wednesday. I got tired again just from looking at all the climbing and everything that went on, but it was wonderful. It was absolutely great to walk up there, and I completely recommend it for anybody that has never been up to La Cruz. It is so worthwhile. It's not even funny. But this is the end of today. I have had a wonderful time hanging out with you, and as always, I look forward to getting together with you every morning. And we'll do so again tomorrow morning. So I hope to see you again tomorrow. And if not tomorrow, I hope to see you again in the very near future. In the meantime, please stay happy, stay healthy, exercise. Exercise. We all should exercise, because if you have acquired coronavirus in strange places of your body, like you should see my tummy. But no, I'm definitely going to pick up some exercise starting now. And I'm going to continue doing lots of wonderful walks to share with you. So have a good day, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care.